Benedict, come in my ass. Benedict, come in my ass.
Are we synced up?
We're synced and ready on Rumble, are we?
Okay.
How's it going, ladies and gents?
Welcome to another episode of Table Talk, home of the most out-of-pocket hot takes.
The most out of snocket, rocket,
Out-of-pocket snockets.
There it is.
pancakes. What's today? Is it Saturday?
February
Yeah.
2nd.
It's February. Yeah.
It's 1 in the morning, but it's February.
We're in a technicality space. It's 1 in the morning, so it's the 3rd.
It's almost 5 a.m. in
It's the 2nd. It's whatever.
News
it's
from the 2nd, but
We'll
we'll just roll.
It's
with
2017.
It's almost 5 o'clock.
You say
in
it's
Toronto.
2017?
No, it's actually almost 2 o'clock.
Yeah. It's almost 5 a.m.
It's almost 5 o'clock. How's that work?
It's
Is
5
Nova
o'clock
Scotia?
somewhere. Let's just say that.
Is Nova
Hey.
Scotia ahead or behind?
What?
Aren't they like 30
Nova
minutes
Scotia's
behind?
ahead.
Are they?
They're not. They're more than 30 minutes, are they?
No, I think they're like 30 minutes ahead.
They're
Speaking about Canada, look at that fucking segue.
Oh.
Look at that transition. Boom!
Right off the bat, I swear.
We've got some Canadian news.
Jeez. Oh, we got a couple of Canadian news
Oh,
stories.
Canada, let me tell you.
Oh,
Canada.
That was beautiful.
That was nice.
Okay. Well,
Same ACC's gonna hit us up.
for those of you who don't know, and for those of you
Who do know?
who do know, for all of you, if you're Canadian, you might want to know about this.
Even American.
You might not even care, really. But we're going to talk about
Let's
it.
let's,
Well, let's get into
let's
it.
get into it.
So on January 31st, which would have been Wednesday,
New Year's Eve.
January 31st.
New Year's Eve.
Okay. Sure. Senate passed a vote to change "in all thy sons command" to "in all of us command."
So the son's part,
Is now us. It's
and that's because of the male. It's like son.
they want
It's
gender equality in the anthem.
So Sons of Anarchy is actually changing their name to Us of Anarchy.
no, Sons of Anarchy is still Sons of Anarchy.
They're in the talks.
Though
It's in the works.
in the Senate right now. But anyways,
Yeah, it's in the works.
yeah. So this all started. Well, I mean, this particular bill started with Liberal MP Bellinger, and he first introduced this back in 2016. Now, this was a few months before he died of ALS. So it's just kind of like a dying wish of this.
Was he part of the LGBT community, or was he just that was
no,
like?
no.
Was
This
it-
was something he just believed in, which is
Okay.
which is kind of
Interesting.
cool and Canadian as all hell. You know what I mean? Like this was like a guy who was kind of going above and beyond
Okay.
for
The
something
Call of
that
Duty.
Yeah.
more women would identify with, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, his dying wish was kind of to get this bill passed. It took 18 months, and now it's passed, like, Senate. So the only thing that's needed now... So as of now, in Canada, you could say,
Us.
"in all of us command,"
But
and it's completely kosher the dosh.
so it's basically the same, but the national anthem isn't actually.
Us, yeah.
Yeah, it's not everybody command. It's still thy son's command, but it's like still acceptable to say it, or did it actually fully change?
Well, here's the thing. Like, where it's at right now, like, if you go to sporting events or, like, any event where they sing the anthem,
Yeah,
if they say "in all of us command,"
yeah.
that's fine. That's totally like appropriate.
Oh, okay.
Now, all they need now is something called a royal assent, which is pretty much our governor general
Just like signing off.
on, like, yeah, just being like, "Yeah, that's cool. Sign it off. You're good, right?"
Yeah, just kind of like a formality. Like he's
Yeah, it's a formality thing, but once he signs that, then it becomes
Us?
that it
it's
is.
us.
So you can't say sons.
Like right now, if you go on Canada's website, there's 4 different versions of the Canadian anthem that are kind of like, yeah, you could say it like that. You kind of
Like there's the English version, or are you just talking about because I know there's like a French section you can sing.
Well, here's the thing, yeah, because now I was doing research on the actual anthem itself because I was like, you know, I don't really know that much about "O Canada," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was originally drafted by a Frenchman back in 1880
Mm-hmm.
and then translated into English in 1908. But here's the interesting thing that I found out. Let me get the exact quote. In 1908, when it became English, the original words in 1908 were "Thou DOST in us command. So in 1908,
It was not.
it
Sons.
was gender neutral. There was no son's command.
What does DOST mean?
I'm not. I don't know.
Probably means like
In
us.
R maybe. I don't know, but the
Okay.
point is it was gender.
That's actually interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So in 1908, it was a gender neutral
Already.
anthem. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
And then somebody was like an All Our Sons command.
yeah,
They're like,
somewhere
that's what.
throughout the line, it became kind of like son's command, right? No one really knows when, but over time
it got thrown around.
it became that way, right?
Yeah.
So that kind of changed my view on it.
So is that old one still one of the proper ones you can say? Or is that not even like that's some old shit?
I,
We're gonna have to change these rules on what constitutes as swearing and not.
but yeah,
Can't
no,
say
like
anything.
that's the thing. Like each draft is kind of a way you could say it, like because back in the 1980s, this
Yeah.
whole conversation was brought up. It's been brought up. I believe.
Really?
So if you're at a Raptors game, right? Can you pull out a doused instead of an us?
Well, you
That's
can
what I
change the
wanna
whole
know.
line altogether.
Yeah, but could you bust out a douse?
I suppose.
Like-
I mean, I think technically you're allowed to sing it however you want.
Here's why I think people are gonna get mad. Because it's one of those things where like when we all sang it as kids and we sang and All Our Sons command, like we didn't really think about like, oh, son as in like somebody's son. It just kind of like, and all our sons come
Yeah.
and kind of like when you say the alphabet, like LMNOP, you know how there's like that, you just kind of like go, right? So
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people that are like kind of like stuck in like their old mentality are going to be like, oh, like why
Should we do?
do we
that?
have to change it? Like it's
Like
such
for
a
the
small,
nostalgia kind of
yeah,
reason.
like
It's the anthem.
it was
like-
good. Yeah, it was, you know,
And that's the thing. I leveled with those people because I get it. It's, it's part of the heritage. Until I read that in 1908,
It was.
it was. It's like, buddy, yeah, we changed it already. It was gender neutral at one point. That
and they
changed
put
the
it
whole
back.
argument for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
So they
'cause-
were, yeah.
Sorry, the problem with this I find is like, there's mention of God in the anthem as well.
That's
Yeah. So are they gonna? Have
You
that's
know-
gonna be another
Well, they have
thing.
to
I think.
change it.
That's gonna be another thing, and I think it should be. I think if you guys start to change it, and here's the thing
What
for
are they
me.
gonna say? Higher power?
This is one of those things for me where it's like, honestly, don't really give a shit. I'll throw money in there for that, because it's like there's bigger things. Like, I did some research to kind of
Yeah.
to make it kind of relative, right? Because I feel like as far as it goes for gender equality, this is kind of like a petty argument, seeming as though most people that sing the anthem are either drunk at a sporting event, or
A
you're a
little
little kid
kid.
at a class, and even then, like we said, when you're just a kid in a class,
You just sing it
It's
because
like
you have
you're-
no
if
idea
you
what
don't
you're
sing
saying.
it, then you get a detention.
Yeah,
if,
like-
if you're not.
Regurgitating
like I
it.
couldn't
Yeah.
even sing it today. Like I just had the lyrics programmed
Yeah.
in my head, kind of thing, right?
I think it is just a formality because like every country needs one.
That's the set, right? Which brought up kind of an interesting point to me. Like, it wasn't the official anthem till 1980. It was kind of like the unofficial anthem in 1939. So there was like a good chunk of years where we just didn't.
We didn't have one?
We just didn't have one till like 1939. People were kind of like, yeah, I'll sing that for like patriotic reasons. And then 1980, on July 1st, on what was Dominion Day but now Canada, we officially made it the anthem. Like 1980, that's not that long ago. Where that was our official anthem.
That really is
Yeah,
not
that's
that
a-
long ago.
That's not.
That's almost 40 years ago.
Yeah. So,
Quick
but
math.
yeah, like so, like here's the thing about it. Like it is interesting, but it's so petty because like
So you're not a religious person.
no.
So do you think they should change the God part?
Well, here's my thing about it. It's like, for the intended purpose of the gender equality they're trying to bring to it, with the changing of the lyrics now,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to be, all inclusive, then you have to start going through it and being like, well, we gotta get rid of any religious things,
Do you think there's going to be a point though where like it's going to be like there's nothing, like you can't make it perfect?
That's
or do you think they're just gonna make one and it's gonna be like, this is as far as it's going?
well, that's it. Like you could say that's the problem with the whole, like especially when you live in a country like Canada, where it's so multicultural. When you start trying to tweak things for equality,
Yeah.
you get to a point where you're like, you know, like at what point is it not a thing anymore? Because you have to have everyone be involved.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean?
Since you brought that up about Canada, don't you think though that the anthem is just it's just Canadian? It's like a part of who we are. So if like we start changing it, we're kind of changing a part of who we are in a way, because we were raised, like mind you, probably a lot of people have been. We were raised on this national anthem, right? And I'm not like opposed with changing the anthem to us instead of sons, but like if we keep changing it over and over again, do you think that kind of like pulls away at being a Canadian with the anthem?
I don't know, because I feel like
Because it's going to keep, if it keeps changing and changing, it's almost like a identity crisis.
for me, like here's the thing. I feel like if you identify like your like country pride with an anthem, then you're not that proud of your country. I could be
That's true.
sitting.
Plus, it's the matter of like
Yeah.
just a few words. Like it's a matter of changing. Like, so right now it's what, like probably like a 3 or 4 word difference, and then
Yeah.
if they change the God part, maybe another like 6 or 7 words throughout the whole anthem.
Yeah, but like you brought up, do you think that'll be the last thing, or do you think they're going to keep finding little
They'll keep
things?
changing it.
But that's what I mean. Like, there's going to come to a point where if it keeps changing, there may be a point where we're older and it's not even close to the same
Yeah.
national anthem.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
Honestly, as long as they keep that beat, because that beat's pretty hard.
yeah, like
Yo, low key, like
It's pretty-
if they
it's
threw,
pretty
like,
nice.
Metro Boomin on that thing would slap.
Thing with yeah.
Yeah.
Slap.
because like my whole thing with it was kind of like, you know, what gives you the country pride when you're saying "O Canada"? Is it the fact that you're singing "O Canada," or like you're in a stadium packed with other Canadians?
I think
Yeah,
that's
it's
what
like
it is.
Everyone standing there looking at the
camaraderie,
flag. Like
yeah.
I could be singing the ABCs, but just being there standing,
Looking
you
at
know,
that flag.
Looking at the flag.
Yeah, you know, and it's like, you know, that's where it comes from. Like for me, I'm fine with the lyrics changing because I could see a demographic really being like, this means something to me,
Yeah.
and to me it doesn't. So for the sake of them, it's like,
You're cool with it.
fair enough.
Yeah.
But
I think they should have just gone back to the 1908 anthem.
Doused.
Yeah, just
that's the thing. Like I didn't even know that was a
Word.
just
I didn't even know that was a
just
thing,
keep it
though.
real.
Yeah,
Just keep it Shakespearean out here.
Yeah, keep it Shakespearean.
dude. Throw it
I
right
would
back to
love that.
Doused is a slap of a word.
Yeah, like
I might should have thrown that in my.
Like I hate how something like this, like the liberals are going nuts about this. Like this is the biggest thing ever. This is the first time Senate's done anything in Canada, is passing this bill. And everyone's like, this is such a huge step forward and whatnot. When it's like, you change one word in an anthem. Like I was reading StatsCan reported back in 2015 that for every dollar a man made, on average, a woman would have made 87 cents. It's like that's a little bit bigger than a word in an anthem.
I was about to say, I swear it was like 70 cents before.
In 2015, StatsCan reported that as 87 cents.
Mm.
So I don't know if that changed in 2016 or if it's 70 in 2014.
Maybe it was America, because I feel like
In America, I think
it's
that's-
probably like
yeah.
70 cents.
But that's the thing,
Or
'cause
however much.
you see like these petty arguments for like gender equality like that, and like politicians celebrate the like everything out of it, but it's like
Well, I feel like some politicians, like realistically, they'll work their whole lives, and like just be another like person, like another pawn in like the whole thing, just moving and moving and moving,
Yeah.
and they get a win like this, and they're like, all right, I can like win or like celebrate.
I could
with-
say I did something.
yeah, you
Yeah,
know, put
but
like a
it's-
plaque on the fridge or
That's
whatever
the
they
thing.
do.
Like it seems like such a petty thing to me. Like it's interesting just because you don't really think too much about the anthem once you're past schooling, really.
Mm.
Like even with sporting events, I'm kind of just standing there like half twisted already from the pre-drink.
Yeah, I can't sing the anthem unless it's like playing in the background. You know, then I can keep up with
Yeah,
it.
like there's a half-second delay between what you're
Yeah.
saying and what you're hearing.
And
yeah.
I think everybody's the same,
Yeah, no, I feel
unless
the same.
you're like a war vet or something like that. Then you're
Yeah.
like
Then it's
you're bang
Or
on.
Shakespearean. Yeah.
Or Shakespearean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doused.
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 Yo, I'll dose to that.
I'll dose to that.
All you doused.
All right, well, I think we covered that pretty good.
Speaking of
What do you got for us, Cam?
Cam's about to do a mean segue right now. Speaking of what?
mean, like segue Tom. Yeah. Speaking of being Canadian, you know,
Yeah.
it's a perfect time to bring this one up.
Let's
So,
bring it up.
reported back on. I have it here. Apparently I don't.
Nice.
Sorry, 1 a.m. last Saturday.
Okay.
Right? Sunday, sorry.
This guy's the timestamp and everything.
1 a.m. last Sunday.
Really?
There's a call from Mr. Vittorio Dominelli.
I
Wanted to.
Vittorio Dominelli.
I still don't know where this is going. I was
That
trying to
sounds
get
like
the
a car salesman, doesn't it?
Hey, Vittorio Dominelli
From Don
Sounds- it
Valley.
sounds like- yeah,
from
it's-
Don Valley Hyundai.
Don
But yeah,
Valley.
Mr. Vittorio Dominelli and his partner, who is not yet released information on,
Okay.
were allegedly caught high
Oh.
on edibles. And mind you, these two individuals are actually police officers for Toronto. So apparently, the whole situation went down with. They're part of the 13th Division, which is located around North York, right?
Mm-hmm.
They gave a
What?
call in.
Go on.
He gave a call in that his partner, who they haven't disclosed
Yeah.
who it is.
Oh wait, hold on. So the one guy is.
So they both did. Yeah, so they disclosed him, but not his partner.
That's,
Why?
That's a.
They haven't said why. They
That's crappy.
Is he under the age of 16?
no, his partner. No, they just haven't disclosed like her name or all that because it is a female. They just haven't said what her name is, and they haven't said why they haven't disclosed it yet. From the reports that I read, and mind you, I read a good amount.
A good amount.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough. Okay.
So they're part of the 13th Division, which is around North York. So they actually called for backup not far away from the actual station, which was at Allen Road in Eglinton West,
Mm.
which is around the Yorkdale
Yeah.
region, right?
Yeah.
So the call of assistant came in, and at the time, before yesterday, there was no report of what this call was for.
Before yesterday, so we're talking Thursday.
So before Thursday, yeah, there was no
Mhm.
like report of what the call was for. They just said that they were caught when they got called in. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So like they didn't say what the call was for, but when they arrived,
There was an incident.
yeah, they just said there was an incident, and when they arrived, they were
Cheeto
off the-
bags
yeah, they were-
everywhere.
they were off the edibles, right?
Yeah.
So on Thursday, late Thursday, they actually released the confidential report. And what was in it was that the female passenger was not in her uniform.
Damn.
She was just in clothes, apparently, and she disappeared. She wasn't in the car.
Were they high as well?
Both of them. So it's the female and Mr. Dominelli. They were
Yeah.
both
Okay.
high. So he called in saying,
She probably went to buy a car from him.
It's not delivery. It's Dominelli.
he was saying that she wasn't here, right? So he was
Yeah.
kind of freaking out. And then,
Dominelli was saying that.
yeah.
But she was like right beside him the whole time. This is so boring.
So he,
Where is she?
he was freaking out, saying he was stressing. He was gonna pass out, right? So he was like, I can't find
He's
her. Blah, blah,
greening
blah.
out.
Yeah.
He's greening out.
So he's like
Jesus
losing it.
Christ.
Couple minutes later,
Yeah.
call comes in saying, "Oh, never mind, found her." Right? But she's not
She was
in a
right
good.
there.
But she's not in a good state. Like she's like pitch like white,
She's greening out as well.
sweating,
This
and
is
she's
so-
like about to pass out.
Oh my god. This reminds me of a great time.
So when they arrived, she was lightly breathing, and like on the verge of unconsciousness. So she was just loosely there.
Yeah.
So like these edibles hit hard.
She was on the come down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there.
So no charges have been laid yet, just because they can't really find any charges to throw on them. But the
like being high on the job.
Yeah,
Being
isn't
caught.
that-
but
itself?
the thing is they didn't disclose if they were on the job or not. They just said that
Were they in a police vehicle?
they were, but they didn't say if they were on the way to work or if they were like.
But either way, you don't take your police vehicle home with you.
No, I know. That's what I'm thinking.
So if you're in a vehicle, that would.
But then the
Yeah.
thing is why would she be in plain clothes?
Because she was high as hell. Like, I to me, like if you're that's a city-owned vehicle. You're on the clock when you're in that.
Oh,
vehicle.
absolutely.
And like what if somebody was like if they ran up to them and was like, oh, like
we need help. Blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
like someone's robbing my house, and they just be like,
And
nice.
they were both high, right? Like this is after what, like the past 2 months, I've been seeing a string of ads. Don't be high and drive. And we just had 2 police officers completely blitzed driving around in a
Well,
car.
I don't know if they were driving because from the reports that I read, it sounded like they were just kind of like
Parked somewhere. Like,
chilling there. So like I feel like they might have. This is all speculation that I'm about to.
Dude,
throw
I need to
out.
read this article so I can use it against every cop for the rest of my life.
So this is a speculation that I'm about to throw because the reports that I read, they didn't say
Right.
what exactly happened. So what I was thinking is maybe they were driving around. Then they're like, you know what? Let's dish out the edibles. Let's pull over, chill out, right? Start popping them. Things go south.
I'm gonna say
they were probably one of those guys that it was their first time doing it, and somebody was like, oh yeah, just take one bite,
And it was like,
and they were like,
no.
30 minutes deep to like nothing's happening.
no, they were like, oh, I think the guy just said everybody just have one brownie,
Yeah, it just
and then
pops
they
a
each
whole
took the whole
brownie.
thing and they just got
Blitzed.
So yeah, the PSU, which for you guys that don't know what PSU stands for, because I don't know what you're doing, is the Professional Standards Unit. they were like sent to investigate what was going on. So that's where, from the report that I read, that's
Yeah.
where it's at right now.
So I like to imagine that. Okay, here's the thing, because you've done edibles, haven't you?
yeah.
Yeah, like you're innocent, but they take like an hour to kick in, right? So I can't see them stopping.
I allegedly took edibles.
Yeah, that is alleged. I
Yeah.
am speaking on behalf of
I
someone.
did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Like it takes like an hour to kick in, from what I've heard.
From what I've heard, yeah.
So
yeah,
I can't see them like pulling over, being like, "Oh, let's do the edibles."
like on their break or something.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like the report never hasn't disclosed that information. They just disclosed what the process was of the calls coming in.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm just trying to like put myself there and try to fill the blanks. Like, let's say
They probably popped them.
we
drove
know they were
around.
in the cop car,
Yeah, because
so they were on clock. Simple as that. If you're in the cop
Yeah.
car, you're on the clock.
The thing is it didn't say if they were in a cop car because all it said was the calls came in. It never said like.
Oh, so we're not sure if they're even in a cop car.
Yeah, like even in the report, it just says the calls came in. It doesn't say like radio dispatch, blah blah blah. This was from CBC, so like this is a pretty reliable
I
source.
like to imagine that they were driving around. It kind of kicked in,
Because my thing
and
is,
they saw a cop car, and then like every other stone driver, they're like, "Oh shit."
Because why would this?
All
be
right,
a
act
big-
natural.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
why would this be a story if they were just in their car?
Yeah, that's
You know
what
I
I'm
mean? So
wondering.
I'm thinking they were probably in either. They were most likely in a cop car.
I feel like they were in a cop car.
But
They-
what do you
they-
think like the repercussion should be?
Definitely fired.
You think fired?
100%, especially because
Or
Like,
you think they should be
not
fired?
even a
Well,
second
yeah.
chance. Like straight up, you're fired. Don't come back.
I made an example of, because this is coming, like this story comes out after a string of ads
Yeah.
on like Instagram and YouTube that the government's putting out telling us, you know, not to get high and drive.
And keep in mind, weed in Canada is supposed to be legal in the summer or
Yeah.
something like that, which is like fine, but
But this
It's
is
been
before.
regulated. Drinking's
Not
legal,
on
but
the
it's not
job.
like you drink on the job.
yeah, exactly, or get like
True,
wasted
right.
on the job.
Yeah.
Unless like the only card I could see someone pulling is like,
I didn't know it was a weed ban. You
yeah, it was just that,
Or-
that's the thing,
I
like
Or it
would-
was,
I would-
or it was
yeah.
medical reasons and I took too much or something like that.
yeah, something like
Even that, I would be hard pressed. But like, I could see like the mistaken.
Not knowing.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, the report says that they allegedly ingested it.
Man, that's so funny.
So, like you said, it could have been unbeknownst to them that it was.
Like to imagine it's
edibles.
like a swap up with like the kids, like their teen, like the teen son was going to school. Like, wait,
Like it was supposed to. go on
these aren't the
evidence-
brownies I made last night.
Like,
oh
it was
no,
supposed to-
Dad!
Whoa!
Like they were supposed to go in the evidence locker and they accidentally switched it to just regular brownies in the evidence locker.
What's his name again?
Vittorio Dominelli.
That guy just sounded like a
It's
guy
just
that,
like
When they hired him, he was gonna break the rules at some point.
Like, I just like to imagine, like,
What was that?
I don't know, like a '90s sitcom where it's like Dominelli's. He pops out of the O. It's like, oh, whoops.
Like he's always that guy that's always like just about to get fired, but he'll like take the boss out for drinks.
And then it's
One more
like,
chance.
He sounds like an associate.
Dominelli. One of these days.
He sounds like an associate to like the Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Like they just kind of hang out with, and they're like, this guy.
Dominelli, did you steal a pound of coke from the evidence locker again? No. Dominelli. One of these days.
It's like those shows where like he gets caught and the principal screams Dominelli, and he's like turns to the camera, he's like, oh no.
Freeze frames at the end of every episode.
You're,
I
you're
just see a
probably
photo
wondering.
of Dominelli.
Yeah,
I need
can
to
we
prove
pull up
he's
a photo of
He's a
Dominelli?
younger dude from what I saw.
I just see a per face to the name, man. Because I'm imagining this guy in my head. And I just need clarification.
There's too many vowels in his name for him not to break the rules.
Dominelli.
This is what he looks like.
That's...
We're gonna put this picture
Oh
up.
my
We're gonna
god.
put this
You guys
picture
have
up.
to see this.
This is insane.
Man's wearing a Jays cap.
That's not what I
Wow.
imagined, but that is perfect.
Even
That is
better.
that is insane.
That guy's wearing glasses in this photo because of how high he is while this photo was being taken.
Yeah, for everybody listening, it looks like he's wearing Persol sunglasses and a Blue Jays hat,
Said per soul.
looking down at the camera with his arms crossed. And you know he just bought that watch just so we can show it off.
Oh my.
No, you know he either just bought the fitted or it's someone else's fitted that he's like, hey, do you mind if I grab this just for a quick pic? Because you can see
Hey, listen,
the sticker on the bottom. It's still there.
yeah,
so
it's
you know
still fresh.
Either it's fresh or he's just one of those guys.
Oh, he's a constable.
No, because that I didn't know what to say for the possible part. But you can tell because the brim isn't too worn in.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like a fresh.
That's like first day on the job, walking around.
That's like you just bought the.
Look
fitted
at the
and you
look
wanna
on that
bend it a
guy's
bit.
face. I cannot read that. I want that
That's
to be up a
going on.
lot.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about a
That's
clickbait
definitely like
thumbnail.
a fossil watch that he's pulling off.
I make that the wallpaper on my phone. That is so great. Look at him, man.
That was, oh my god.
That's definitely a fossil watch that he pretends it's a Rolex.
I know. He's like,
Just spent $100 on my wrist, homie. It says fossil.
hey, I just got it from Nona.
For the commission for the Hyundai.
All right.
Well, that was nice.
That was
That was
great.
fun.
I enjoyed that.
After some fun stuff, we have to get serious, I think.
You got something serious to say?
Bell, let's talk. Let's talk about Bell, let's talk.
Let's talk about
talk.
Bell. Let's talk.
So, what day did that happen? Two days ago?
Yes, it wasn't yesterday.
So
Good.
January 31st.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I know. It
As
wasn't-
of like,
That's Wednesday. Just to say clear, because at the beginning of the video,
Okay, yeah.
we weren't sure what we were saying, so.
so
yeah, it's Wednesday.
Bell actually put a campaign out. I mean,
So
it's
yeah.
been out, but like 5 cents for every hashtag and retweet, I think it is.
Yeah, I'm like
View,
and-
like they just add all that up and it's 5 cents
Each thing.
each thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So they raised almost 7 million. It was like
Jeez.
6,900,000 to
That's
something like that, and they're gonna donate that money to
To
like
mental-
different
yeah.
sectors of the mental health. I think it's between like 5 and 25,000 per grant.
Oh, that's all right.
So, what do you guys think about that? Because I've been seeing a lot of people talk about it since they did the first one, and they were saying mental health should be an everyday issue, not just a once a year thing.
What I think about that is I don't know who does the campaign or the picture, mind you, but it says, what if physical injuries or like everyday like real sickness was treated like mental health, and it was like someone had like cancer and they're like, oh, why can't you just get up and walk it off? And then someone had like a broken arm, it's like, oh, just go throw a ball. It's something like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's really good because it kind of like pinpoints what people kind
stigma with
of
it?
people kind of go through. You know what I mean? Like people are depressed. It's like, oh well, just go out there and watch a funny movie or something.
I think
like
like
that.
mental health should like really. I mean, it's good that it's like still like kind of coming up. It's like up there now, but it's still definitely not as invested in
It's a
by the
tough-
medical industry as like
I think
physical issues.
I think with the whole Bell Let's Talk, I think it's a great idea. Like I think it's
it's great.
I think it's
idea.
phenomenal. The only thing that bothers me about it is that once that day's over, people just kind of forget about it. Like they don't put as much spotlight on it as just that one day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm kind of a devil's advocate, and that's the thing. Because I have a problem with corporate, like, charity work.
No, not even.
Because I just know, like, for them, that's a tax write-off. Like, it seems nice. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's good for the fact that it gets people talking.
I'd like to think. I mean, like they're a business, but
Like, Bell's not really doing anything nice. They're kind of just
They're
like
just-
a vessel.
they're just a platform.
Because for them, this is like a complete tax write-off.
but I mean, tax write-off or not, that's still $7 million going towards that sector of the mental health.
But what,
Yeah, but you'd be better off donating it yourself. Like, and you seem like a lot better too. Because, like, now, because it's just coming out of your taxes, really. It's a tax write-off for them, so the government is indirectly paying for it, which I'm fine with, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but
It's
it's
just,
not
I don't like Bell getting the credit for it.
But here, this is I wasn't focusing on the charity. I was thinking more just the actual spotlight on mental health, because it seems like even though it's kind of been, like you said, more light has been shed on it recently. I feel like after that day, it's kind of just like it's almost like a national holiday. You know what I mean? In the sense that it's only focused on one day, like Christmas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People don't talk about it the next day.
Well, I feel like a lot of...
Like I feel like it needs to be like an ongoing thing where
I
people
feel
are
like
constantly talking about
it is. It's just kind of like... Because with most mental health issues, how just like... how much of a tough thing it could be to either talk about as the person going through it,
Mhm.
Yeah.
or as someone to hear it, like to try and handle that situation. It's not something that you'll hear about talked about publicly that often. But I feel like behind closed doors, like one-on-ones and stuff like that,
Yeah.
it is an ongoing conversation. And the thing is too, like with mental health, I feel like it's a real two-way street, hard issue to tackle. Because the problem is that there are people who are legitimately diagnosed
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
have gone through the process and
Have medication for it.
and yeah, like who are like by professionals told that you have this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And like you see things. Like here's the thing: our generation says like mental health is like a huge issue,
Mm.
and it is, right? But we toss around the word like, "Oh, I'm depressed all the time," like nothing. When it's like,
That is true.
you know what I mean? Like we in ourselves, without knowing it, kind of degrade what depression
No,
is,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And everyone
definitely.
makes jokes about like, oh, I wish I was dead or I'd kill myself or whatnot. You know, which
That's true.
you know are jokes, fair, but like without knowing it, we're kind of lowering
Yeah,
the importance of that issue, right?
it's the same thing. Like you never hear anybody say like, "Oh, like I wish I had cancer," or, like, you know. But
That's just it.
but people would be like, "Oh, like I'm so depressed right now because like this show ended, and
Yeah.
now I don't have anything to watch
Yeah.
on Netflix." You know, like the word is definitely like thrown around more.
Yeah, no one's gonna
Then
go
it
out
should
there and
be.
be like, "Oh, I wish I broke my tibia."
Yeah.
Well, that's just it. Like I feel like our generation, like with language, has gotten to a point where
Words are just thrown.
we've capped ourselves out with the language so much that we just go to the extreme.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, things like depression kind of get overlooked as something where everyone's like, "Oh, you're depressed. You're telling
Here's
me."
the thing too, though. I feel like when we talk about like mental health, the first thing that people always think of is depression.
Yeah, well, it's all so much more than that.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
like
there's
so many
tons.
more. There's like
Yeah.
And the thing is like, depression, yes, is arguably not the worst, but can lead to death more than other.
it's a big one. Yeah.
It's a big one, but there's stuff like anxiety, which is huge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everyone gets anxious at one point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if it's just like the smallest thing, like they're waiting in line, but they have to go somewhere real quick. So you're
Yeah.
just kind of like, okay.
That's
Right?
just it.
But like it can lead to way more. Like you can snap. There's other stuff like
Well, there's like anorexia,
Yeah.
bulimia,
Which can-
OCD,
Yeah.
ADD. Like I'm diagnosed with that, but like the
even bulimia could probably it
It is,
kill
it
you.
is.
Same with
a
anorexia.
lot of like that's what they call mental illnesses because they're known as
like schizophrenia too.
schizophrenia and stuff like that. But like mental illness is interesting because of like let's, for argument's sake, let's call them mental deficiencies. All right. So let's say you are a mental minority for having one of these things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right? Not everyone fits in with you because you are outcasted for having this illness.
Yeah.
Now, the interesting thing about it rather is back in like the 80s, there was this pamphlet.
I think I know where you're going with this, but go on.
Yeah, I think you do actually, because I think we've talked about this before. But there was like this pamphlet about mental illness.
Yeah.
And I saw a TED Talk actually for anyone who wants to get the exact information about it. I recommend searching.
I'm sure TED Talk mental health.
Yeah, TED Talk mental health, and you'll find it. It's a great TED Talk. But I digress. I'll try to do my best summary of it.
Yeah.
So this guy talks about how back in the 80s there was like a pamphlet of like mental illnesses. And
Literally just a pamphlet.
yeah, like there's a pamphlet. You'd open it. There's like 30 mental illnesses, maybe even less, like 20.
Pick one, get a prescription, go home.
Yeah. Now every year they update it and they add more and whatnot. Now today it's like an encyclopedia. Like it's like.
There's tons, yeah.
And he himself took the time to kind of flick through it and see, if he has any mental illnesses. And it turns out that he does, but like if you look at how we classify mental illness now, I guarantee you
Like
every individual person
has some.
like if you think you're mentally sane, you're absolutely wrong. In fact, if you think you're mentally sane, that is contributed to being a sociopath.
But I think the thing with that too is because everybody also has like physical things that are wrong with them too. Like I'm sure like there used to be like, oh, there's like a human, and if you have a broken bone, that's like a physical thing that's wrong with you. And now I'm sure it's like, oh, if your nose is too stuffy all the time, like I know you have, I think we all have it. That could be like a physical deficiency thing. So like it could be just like minor things that like maybe aren't even like life-threatening or bad,
Right.
but they're just classified as like a deficiency, I guess.
But even with that, like you see more often than not, because like you and me all the time will level with each other over our noses.
Yeah,
Like you would see people level with
breathe
each other
through our nose.
No, we absolutely can't.
Cam, give us one.
That's actually the best.
Is that yours? That's smooth. That sounds like a bird flying through the air.
That
sounds like a
that
peregrine
sounds like a nice glass of whiskey.
I know.
Yo,
This sounds like Jack Daniels.
Oh boy.
Yo, but mine in the morning, like, sometimes can be bad. Like, it sounds like like someone's falling down a rocky mountain. Just boom, 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 boom. Just
Boom, 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 boom.
one of those. And my snoring, terrible.
Yeah.
Guys don't snore.
Oh, no.
No.
You don't snore?
Guys that have you ever heard yourself snore?
Oh, I've woken myself up.
Okay, maybe
from
you.
snoring.
I've had neighbors that I've had to contact that.
And I can guarantee you there will be at least one comment verifying my snoring.
No, guys don't snore.
I'm not commenting on this.
No, like I'm telling you, it's bad.
So one more thing with this whole mental health thing.
Yeah. We got trail off at that.
So, Cam H. We all know Cam H.
That's what I call you all the time.
Your boy.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're the Center for Addiction and Mental Health.
Yeah.
Someone, an anonymous donor, donated $100 million,
Oh my.
and they chose to leave their name out of it.
Good for them.
But what they said was like this is my own money, and I'm donating because someone in my life has like either like died or has been like negatively affected by mental health, and like here's money, like we have to do something about it.
Yeah.
Right. That's awesome. I love that.
I'm like getting goosebumps just talking about that because I'm like a huge advocate for like mental health. Like I would go to therapy. Like
Yeah.
I would like love to if I had the money.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's the thing, like...
What are you gonna say?
Oh, sorry.
I know it's like no,
I
would
don't
just,
even want to say it.
I would just love to go.
No?
Was it Logan Paul that donated?
Oh. Well, fair enough, actually, because he did
No,
donate...
He donated
Logan Paul
a
did
million.
donate
He donated $10 million or something.
1 million
1 million, pardon
or
me.
10 million.
Broke boy.
He donated at least $1 million.
At least $1 million.
Which is big.
Broke boy.
But,
This guy that donated 100 million is laughing.
Guys,
But that's the
Logan
thing, like-
Paul.
like, on the same concept of mental health, like, OHIP covers any medical emergency that's physical.
Oh, really? But
Yeah.
like really, as in like they don't cover like if you have like a breakdown or anything.
That's the thing.
Do you think they'll get into that?
I don't know. What, do they? Do they?
I've no idea.
I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
think. I don't know. I don't
If
think
anyone,
so.
If anyone knows, please leave a comment.
Yeah, please let us know.
Yeah, let us know if they did or not. Because I mean, like, that would be interesting to know if they. Well, I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like
I feel like
because
like
they're
it-
a company too, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, only physical. Like I
But
mean,
I
maybe
feel like
I don't know.
I feel like if they don't have it by now, I feel like they may work towards it. You know what I mean? But like they'll probably have certain stipulations for it that it can be covered under. You know what I mean?
it might be hard for them too because
That's the thing. It could be extremely hard,
it's mental health.
mental health is a very hard thing.
and it's different per
You literally
person.
can't see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't do an X-ray and figure out like, oh yeah, no, you got a bad case. Of
So like hopefully
depression.
there wouldn't be people abusing the system to get into a hospital,
yeah.
say they're having a breakdown, and get prescribed a
Yeah.
drug or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. You know, like that's just like you have to cross your fingers.
Just hope. Yeah.
That's the thing, like, cause, like, if you look at like younger generations, like, you know, people are going in high school and whatnot. I feel like a lot of people. I don't want to say a lot. I don't want to make that assumption, but I feel like there's a percentage of the population.
These are hot takes we're having right
Yeah,
now.
these are hot takes right here. This is complete ignorance on what I say. But I feel like there's a percentage of high school students in particular that would kind of feel like things are a lot harder in them than it is, and just associate themselves thinking they have a mental illness when they actually don't. Like when you're a teenager, you're just a mess. Your head's just like
Yeah,
a
hormones.
Yeah, being a teenager in itself is a mental and physical illness.
Yeah,
You're in
just
constant
that-
pain and you have no idea what's happening around you.
Yeah.
So I feel like in that regard with mental illness, like it's hard, especially people going through puberty. Like how do you diagnose that? You know what I mean? Like, is it mental illness or is it like, no, you're just going through puberty?
One thing I want to know about mental health too, like that ties in with that is like, can you like lose a mental health? Like I know you can go to therapy to like help with
Yes.
certain things, but like if you're depressed in your teens, can you like go to therapy and fix it? And by the time you're 20,
Mm-hmm.
you're kind of like quote unquote cured.
Well, there's that guy. I'm pretty sure he's like world famous now. The guy that jumped off the Golden State Bridge.
Yeah.
Who?
Golden Gate?
Yeah, Golden Gate. Sorry. Golden State. Jeez. I said jeez. Relax.
But
What did I say?
I heard it.
What did I say?
We'll just listen back.
You can just
okay.
whisper me what you said.
It's okay.
I'm not. No, I don't trust
I'm
you.
for the people. You
I want
know.
to throw you under the bus. Okay, sorry, you were saying.
There, I'm assuming he had mental health issues
Yeah.
for jumping off, right? And
Wait,
I don't
he
know.
Survived?
Yeah, he survived.
He survived?
Yeah.
My God, I don't know who this guy is. But that's
I don't know his name. I know he's just
yeah,
kind of been in a lot of like.
Yeah, there's been a few videos about him.
Right.
But like I said, I don't know what kind of state of mind he's in.
Mhm.
But I can maybe imagine and think that he kind of is past that mindset because he did survive. And from what I've seen videos of him in, he's kind of been like, it's opened my eyes. Like, I appreciate life more.
Yeah, I remember he said, and I've heard about this too, about all the people that have like tried to jump. The second you jump, you regret it.
Yeah.
And like,
Mhm.
I guess that just like opens people's eyes to like, once you really commit, like it's different between like
This is it.
pulling a trigger
Right.
and it's like instant. This is like, while you're falling, you're like, I made a mistake.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like, I wonder if that can actually, if he is quote unquote cured from.
Well, I feel like let's go with the initial argument we
I don't even know our initial
or
argument.
well, we all agreed that mental illness should be treated quite similarly to physical illnesses, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like, because here's the thing, like I, as a kid, diagnosed with ADD I kind of write off because every child has ADD in my eyes. Like still now I'm a little bit screwy with how I think. But I also had dyslexia. Now dyslexia in like the mental health world is kind of like a cold. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at it relative
There's
to-
like way worse things.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And I feel like, you know, the worse the mental illness, just like the worse the physical illness, the more extreme a procedure would have to go through to cure it. Like for me, when I had dyslexia as a kid, even with ADD, I saw a therapist throughout like kindergarten and like I think in grade 1. But it wasn't like a therapist like, you know, like, oh, you're getting B at home. It was a therapist like, okay,
Like
write an E.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, okay, write it backwards. And they'd be like, no, you're dumb. Write it the other way. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And you just do that until...
Like it was an educational therapist.
It's,
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
basically like repetition, like
Yeah, to reprogram my brain to be
Mhm.
like, you know, like for me, 6s were just, like I couldn't do a 6 till like grade 7. It was crazy, man.
I shouldn't laugh at that.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're an asshole. Oh, but let's talk about how much of... I almost said it again too. If you didn't call me out, I would too. But yeah, no, yeah. So I feel like in that regard, it was something where the process was a lot easier to kind of handle. Where it's like if you look at things like depression, or it's even like you know like OCD and stuff like that. Like in more extreme cases of OCD.
Yeah.
You know, it's
But
something that takes years of therapy and whatnot.
I feel like everyone kind of has a mild form of ACD, and I'm not trying to like belittle OCD, because
ACDC?
it is pretty severe. Like
Some people have it bad. As
yeah,
a kid, when I was younger, I think I had it like pretty bad.
like
I
I
used
used
to have it pretty
and
bad.
it would me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like definitely. What did I say?
Oh.
Stop. Put that back.
But no, like I feel like everyone has like a tiny form. I don't know if you would even classify it as OCD or just kind of like, I don't even know what you're classified as, but I feel like everyone has a little form of it.
There's probably, I think there's a spectrum to
What was it?
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like there's probably a spectrum to OCD where it's like once you hit this point, now you have to kind of
Yeah.
get treatment. And like anything below that, it's like still OCD, but it's like manageable.
Yeah.
And once like it, if you keep like spiraling through
Down,
that point,
yeah.
you can like easily get to like a point.
That's where I feel like a big problem with the stigma with mental health comes in where, like, when you have a physical illness, no one wakes up one day and coughs like, yeah, I got the cancer, you know? Or like you cough and like, oh yeah, you totally have cancer or something like
Yeah.
that. But with mental illness, a lot of people will kind of either self-diagnose themselves
Yeah.
or diagnose other people. Like, it's easy to kind of just say someone has OCD. Like, I almost say that with you all the time because of how you are with change.
Yeah.
Like, you hate having change.
I never have changed.
And I'll
this annoys me.
Yeah, like,
Like I wish this was a bill and stuff.
and I'll just say like that's OCD, but like that's completely like I have no training at all in any psychiatric field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But like I said, I feel like, and like what Dom said is, I feel like everyone does have a form.
A spectrum,
Yeah, of OCD, but once it hits a certain part, then it's kind of an actual.
And
Like, yeah.
like being the devil's advocate and that, like that's where I feel like a big stigma comes in. Because you're right, there's like a spectrum. Like mental illnesses could go to like huge extremes, or just be like very very mild, right? Where it's more so a tick,
I had this thing as a kid
right?
where I don't know why this could be like an OCD thing,
Okay.
but I was afraid that I would die without saying every word in like the English dictionary or like every phrase. So when someone would say something, I would like
You just throw
repeat
something in there.
that phrase.
That's
That's
the most interesting
peculiar.
fact I've
It's
ever heard about.
weird, eh?
that
Dog,
is
how long
peculiar.
did you do that for?
To this
Well,
day,
like it got to a point
For
where
the
like,
record, I don't think that's like an OCD thing. I think that's kind of maybe just like a nervous tick thing as a kid.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
like,
but
it's
it
like
got
a
to a
bucket
point
list thing.
where I was like, I can't live like this. But I was like
How
young.
old were you when you
young,
stopped?
young.
Like last week.
Yeah, it was probably a few days. No, it was like before grade like 7. It was,
That is
you know,
amazing to me.
or like brushing my teeth.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to like end the brush on like a good brush. If I would do it and it would like hit my gum, I'd have to do like a few more brushes and then go again and try and get a last good brush.
Right.
and then I'd have to like spit the thing out, and if it was like, I don't know,
That kind of seems like an OCD thing.
it just like got to a point where you're like, I can't live like this.
Yeah, like for me, it's kind of interesting. Like with the type of ADD I have, the best way I can explain it is imagine having OCD for information, but you have Alzheimer's as well. Like for
Oh my
me,
God.
like my problem is if I have a question that will just pop into my head, I'll have to search the answer, and then when I find the answer, I'll be like, you know, I'll come up with a question based off that answer.
Yeah.
And I'll just like dive deep into this hole of information, and by the time I get to the end, I'll be like questioning the universe. But I will have forgotten completely like the first question I had.
So, your brain is the YouTube recommendations.
Yeah, like for me, that's why I read. Like I just have like a whole bunch of fun facts in my head that have no traceable source.
What's one fun fact?
Like okay, for example,
Fun fact of the day.
this isn't really a fun fact because I'm not gonna do it on the podcast. But I could say the whole "to be or not to be" soliloquy. I could do the whole thing from Hamlet, but I have no idea why. It's
You
just,
like memorized it.
I haven't memorized. I have no idea. It's part of like a
That's
long train.
crazy.
Yeah. No, that's why like even with my wit, like my thought process, if I walked you through it, if you tell me something, I'll go through like a chain of like 12 thoughts and then get there like really quick.
Yeah.
So ADD. But I'll forget like the whole train.
Yeah.
It's mental how it works, but it's like
Don, what grade did you say your thing finished at again? Like
What
your
do you-
whole English language.
Oh, I don't know. I was like young.
Like it was before grade 9, right?
There was one point that I remember, and there was a blackout in the city. And
we were in grade. Is this the big blackout?
no,
Oh no, I think
no, it wasn't the big one.
This was when we were younger, right?
And I remember like someone said something, and it was like a long sentence, and I said the whole thing perfectly back, and they were like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, I just want to say it." And they were like, "Why?" And I was like,
I don't know.
Like if I explain it to you, it's not gonna make sense. I just wanted to say it, you know?
You know, like to me though, I level with you. Like that seems completely rational to me. Because my whole thing is kind of like I hate not knowing things. Like that's why I know
So
many
you have
fun
to like
facts.
dig deep.
Yeah, like cause I hate having a question that I can't have answered.
Do you know what I want to know?
What?
If LeBron's gonna join the Warriors.
No, I don't think he will.
I don't think he will either.
I think
but
if he's gone, because there's been talks between, I mean, not talks, but there's been leaks that he wants to talk to the Warriors, the Heat, and the Lakers.
where do you think he'll go?
I would say in order, Lakers, Heat,
I don't think he's
Warriors.
going to the Heat.
The only reason why I think he'll go to the Heat, nostalgic.
The Heat
He
would
was-
be alright.
He's already been at the Heat. He almost had his three-peat. He won the most championships there that he has.
I also don't think he'll go to the Lakers
But
because Kobe's there
Yeah.
or was there.
LeBron
No,
doesn't
here's my-
think for like a team or nostalgia. He thinks strictly himself.
but that's why, at the same time, I don't think he'll leave Cleveland.
I think he's leaving Cleveland.
I don't think he will.
I don't think he will either.
I think he will.
He's the king of Cleveland.
Like I think
If you think of Cleveland, who's the first person you put aside Johnny Manziel because obviously he's
LeBron.
a goat of
You-
LeBron,
Yeah,
but like, I feel like he wants to win a championship, like another championship, because he has what, 3 or 4 now? 4, 3.
I have no idea. You might know.
He has 2. I think he has 4.
He's been to the championship
4.
8 times or something like that, or 7.
No, he's. I'm gonna look it up. I'm
Look-
pretty sure he has 3.
Yeah, 3 or 4, but he's been, I think, 7, because he's been more than Jordan,
Right.
but he hasn't won as many.
He has the lowest finals percentage out of all of them.
Either way, I think he
Like
wants
Kobe,
another
Jordan,
championship.
and James. He has 3 rings, by the way. Fact checked.
3.
Yeah,
So he has 3, and he's been what, 6 times?
I believe
That makes sense.
to the finals. He's
'Cause
made
Golden
it 6
State-
times. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's lost 4.
What?
Wait, what?
LeBron James has been to the NBA Finals 6 times. He has lost 4 and won 2,
So he only has 2.
even though he has 3 rings.
Wait, what?
I don't know what Google's on right now.
Did you buy one off of Steph or something?
No, because he won
Some
one with
basketball fan
he
is
won
gonna
one
be
with
look-
Cleveland 2 years ago
Yeah. And he won
because of
2 with the
Kyrie's
Heat.
dagger, which was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And then he won 2 in a row at Miami. So that's 3. I know for a fact he won those 3.
Yeah.
So I think this thing's just a bit behind.
Yeah, because he's been 6 or
Yeah.
7. I don't know
I think
anymore.
it's-
Either way, I think he wants another championship, and he's not going to get that at
I think
Cleveland.
he can.
I don't think he can.
If I was LeBron, I wouldn't chance it.
I think what Cleveland needs is a big man.
Like, when you look at like athletes, like look at Michael Jordan, you best associate him with the Bulls. Like every time a player leaves their team,
That's what I mean.
it's like a new generation of that particular player starts.
Like Kobe,
I agree.
Lakers.
Like LeBron leaving Cleveland would be like that's it.
Well, he
But
already did.
the
But-
best,
'Cause
yeah.
some people do associate him with the Heat.
But I think LeBron
win.
is just so good. Like you
He may just
you
be,
don't even put him to a team.
Throw him to the next team and see what happens. Because I like there's a whole time frame where he's with Miami. That's like a completely different
It's a,
LeBron. to me.
yeah, it's a completely different LeBron.
What
Yeah.
he said,
Man was a savage there.
or apparently, allegedly, if you open up some spots and give a max deal,
To him, he'll listen to
he'll
it.
think about talking.
Yeah.
But I also read some other reports that he said, if it didn't come out of my mouth,
It's not true.
it's not true.
Yeah.
So people may be trying to like tarnish his image or something, but
But at this point in his career, I don't really think he needs the money.
He may have even just like told someone, like a publicist, kind of just delete that out and just see what happens.
But my
yeah,
thing
oh,
is,
that, you know what?
He could have just done that
He
and said
could've
like,
just-
I didn't say it.
That'd be so bad for the league, though.
yeah, but here's my thing.
Yeah,
LeBron
but
doesn't
delete this
need
so many dumb things.
a max contract. He already has $1 billion deal.
Yeah, but if you
with
can get it,
Nike.
why not do it?
No, because my thing is if he wants to go down as the king, which he is right now, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
I don't think
Unfortunately.
I don't like LeBron.
that guy's amazing.
No, he's a great athlete. I just don't like him as a person.
He's better than Steph and KD.
Yeah,
as a person.
I completely agree with you. As a person,
Yeah.
my problem is Steph's like too far on the opposite.
No,
end.
Steph's too arrogant.
Steph got arrogant.
He got so arrogant. 'cause
As soon
won
as
a
he grew his
championship.
beard out, he
As
just
soon as
became.
he started splashing threes, this guy's like, no one can touch me.
Yeah, but just look at him
I think-
pisses me
I
off.
think-
Like Steph as well.
Yeah,
The
and then
two of them.
KD, man, just bounced off OKC. Mind you, OKC probably will probably make it to the finals. or
KD
what's it
seems
called?
like he's kind of brain dead, doesn't he?
He kind of seems like he's just like that guy that was in high school, that people were just like, oh, you should play ball, and he played ball, and he
Just
was
because he's
nice.
tall and he can, like.
Yeah, and he was just never good at school, and then he was just kind of like, he was just controlled.
No, I think LeBron. He might be wanting the max deal just because he wants to be in power, you know? Like, he wants to be the king. So if he has a max deal, like, if a team is going to open up all that space, they're going to respect him.
But
So
here's the
whichever team he goes to, he's going to be the man.
But this is the thing: if he goes to the Warriors, they have Steph, Clay.
Oh, the league would be terrible.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't watch it.
No, Draymond. Hold on.
Okay.
And Steph, Clay, KD,
LeBron.
Draymond. Who are they going to cut to open up all this space? They're not going to want to cut everyone.
They could if they wanted to. They pretty much could cut everyone.
But then the thing is LeBron wants a max deal.
Right.
They're going to have to cut minimum 2 of those players.
And, like, half the bench.
Get rid of Clay. Who ca- If you have Steph
They
and
wouldn't- they
LeBron on
wouldn't-
the
Yeah,
same
no,
team,
they wouldn't
No,
get rid
they
of
wouldn't get
Clay.
rid of Clay.
yeah,
They
but
wouldn't get rid of KD. The
Draymond.
only person I could
Draymond,
see,
yeah.
but he's the best defensive player.
who cares? Get rid of
Their
him.
defense is trash without Draymond.
Who cares when you're scoring like 100 points a period? Who really cares?
I thought you were going to say a game, but
Yeah,
the
sorry.
period, seriously.
I can't see LeBron going there. It just
Where would you
not-
like to see him?
I want him to stay in Cleveland. I would love to see him come to Toronto. That would never
yeah,
happen.
obviously, I'd like to see him in Toronto.
But I can see him staying in Cleveland.
Yeah. You know what would work out really well for the league right now?
What?
If they kind of did
If
the
you
same
went to like the
thing
Jazz,
that they did. In,
just some team that's
well, if they did like the same thing they did in hockey, where they just add a new team somewhere and just let that draft happen.
I think that may ruin it.
I feel like the league needs to be shuffled up.
'Cause
Like it's getting
in
to the
all
point
honesty,
where it's like,
the
yeah,
NHL
Golden State, Cleveland again. Yeah, let's just do that
Yeah,
again.
but
Nah,
this year it's not going to be like that.
Yeah, I don't even know if Cleveland's gonna make it.
I don't even think Golden State will. I'm putting that out there right now.
Really?
What do you think it's gonna
You
be?
don't think
Spurs and
Golden
Celtics?
State-
Western Conference is going to be the Rockets and OKC.
What about
Possibly
the Spurs?
even Minnesota. Think about it. The West has OKC,
I don't
who
think
has
OKC.
listen. OKC who have Russ, Melo, and Paul George.
Yeah, but what's their record?
They're up there.
Is that a playoff team?
That's a playoff team.
I don't know if
That's
that's
a
a playoff.
playoff
I don't know
team.
if that's a playoff team.
Russ, Melo, Paul George.
Meh.
That's playoff that's finals caliber right there. So that's just that's just the Thunder, okay?
Okay.
Then there's the Rockets, who have Trevor Ariza. Man can shoot like crazy.
My boy Harden.
The Beard. And CP3. The Rockets, right?
Okay.
The Wolves. Jimmy Butler.
No, I don't even talk about the Wolves.
Andrew Wiggins. Homegrown.
He's homegrown, but still, he's not. He's
That-
not.
Carl
Carl
Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
They have more, too. Tajon Prince, who's actually low-key nice.
So
Yeah, but nothing compared to
They-
Golden State.
This season, they've beaten Golden State.
yeah, but I feel like Golden State
Golden
can just
State has-
win that.
They have too much
Yeah.
competition.
They can just win those championships though.
Nah,
Like Golden
they're
State
not-
goes out drinking before they play the Timberwolves.
I'm telling you right now, they're not making it to the finals this year, and you can quote me on that.
Okay, I could maybe. Yeah, I could seriously say with.
They
like,
will
the Rockets
struggle if they
maybe.
make it to the
OKC,
Western
maybe.
Conference Finals. It will be a struggle for them. It will be a struggle. You can mark my words.
I'll
for
say
that.
this:
They won't sweep the Rockets.
whoever makes it to the finals, if not Golden State, it will be strictly luck off of like a bad game,
Nah, it won't
like
be
bad
luck.
calls.
It won't be luck.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm telling you right now, in the Western Conference Finals, if the Warriors are there, they will have to go to Game 7 and they will lose.
This will be recorded, so
I don't even think they'll make it to the finals, and I don't even think the Cavs will be in the finals for the
So who do you
East.
think's gonna take it?
In the East?
Altogether.
Oh no,
East-
like
Eastern
East versus the
Conference.
West. Who do you think is going to be the top four?
Okay.
And then top two, and then top one.
Okay, so top 4 in the East. I'm gonna go Celtics and Raptors.
I was going to say that too. Celtics and Raptors.
That's Eastern Conference
Oh,
Finals.
I don't know though.
Eastern Conference Finals right there, because I feel like it'll.
Definitely. Yeah. Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Eastern Conference
I'll,
Finals.
I'll agree with you on that.
Western Conference, I'm gonna have to go Rockets and Thunder.
No.
I don't see the. Okay, well,
What about the Spurs?
Nah, they're having issues with Kawhi.
Yo,
I'd say
I heard
Rockets and
these-
Golden State.
I was gonna
you know
say
what?
that
I'll,
too.
I'll be the nice guy for you guys, and whatever. I'll put Golden State in the Western Conference Finals.
You don't have to if you don't. This will be recorded, so we'll just.
I don't think. 100% Warriors will not be in the Western Conference Final.
100%.
In the NBA Finals, they will not be there.
I may say it's gonna be Rockets, Golden State, and man, fingers crossed. This is kind of biased, but we say Raptors and Cleveland.
Yo, it's not even biased.
Celtics.
Raptors are good. I think we're second in the conference right now.
We're above the Cavs.
I haven't kept
We're
up enough
right behind
to-
the Celtics.
We're
Like,
right
like
behind
a
the
game and a half.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, the Raptors.
Taking it
but,
all?
Like, on
Take-
paper, I don't care, man. Because the Raptors, like every Toronto team, it comes to playoffs, we could have everything we need, and we'll choke.
No, we're making it. We're making it this year.
I
say-
want to believe, but every league that we have a team in, we choke in playoffs.
We'll just have to wait and see.
We'll just have to wait. and
We'll just
see.
have to wait and see.
And with that,
I think we should end on that.
We should end that. All right. Well,
thank you for coming back for episode 3.
yeah.
Beautiful
Oh, we
podcast.
didn't. We should tally that up again.
Okay. You want to get on that? I'm just gonna say a few words to everyone. And yeah. Table talk. A lot of you out there have kind of been contacting us personally, and saying we're doing good stuff and whatnot. And on behalf of all of us, we really want to thank you for that, and for watching our content. As rough as it is right now, we're planning to bring a lot more new things to the channel, right?
Yeah, we have some new things in the works. Not even in the works that are actually done. We're just figuring scheduling out for those.
Yeah, we should have some gameplay content coming soon.
Yeah, we have some stuff that will be popping up within the next week or so. With that, that's going to be not polar opposites, but you'll see a different personality between the table talk and the stick talk.
Yeah, no, it gets funny. It gets
It's a lot different from this. This is more of a kind of, like Martino said the other day, this is kind of more something how we would talk at like a coffee shop or just kind of hanging out.
Yeah,
You're at the dinner
we're
table.
working on more stuff.
Yeah, we got more stuff coming.
Stay
Keep your
tuned,
eyes out.
definitely.
Hit the notification bell, as corny as that sounds, because trust me, this new stuff coming out is going to be good.
Please.
So we're at 25. So
$25. That could be going to you. Subscribe, like, comment.
Whoever's watching, just hit the
Share.
subscribe. You don't even have to pay. You just all you have to do is just hit that subscribe button. There you go.
Boom.
You know what I mean?
Thank you very much, guys. Talk to you next week.